This is the Arctic Convoys micro gallery, which we set up really just to give people a sense of what the journeys and the voyages were like in what is one of the Second World War's less well-known campaigns. It's not an enormous gallery, we've only got about 30 objects in here, including all of the pictures. But I'd just like to say a little bit about my favourite, which is that one. This is a photograph taken in the mid-war period of the convoy rescue ship Rathlin. If the Arctic convoys don't get as much attention as the others do, the convoy rescue ships tend to get even less, but they played a very, very important role. Their job was a very unenviable one. If ships were hit and ships were sinking, standing orders stated that every other vessel in the convoy had to steam on to avoid becoming a victim as well. These guys were the exceptions. They were specifically fitted out to stop, to pick up as many survivors as they could. And as you can imagine, in the middle of an attack, that would be a very, very dangerous thing to do because you make yourself an easy target. They were normally crewed by a mix of Royal Navy and Merchant Navy personnel. Rathlin in peacetime would have been a cross-channel passenger and cargo ferry, so she escorted, I think it was 6 Arctic convoys, although those 6 trips were round trips. She rescued a total of 643 men in all theatres of the war, a little over half of those on the Arctic convoys. In fact, during convoy PQ-17 in the summer of 1942, which was the most disastrous of the Allied convoys in terms of losses, she rescued, I think it was 214 personnel. And by the end of the war, she'd achieved something of a record. She'd rescued more survivors than any other convoy rescue ship in Allied service. I'm pleased to say she survived the war and was returned to her civilian owners. I particularly like her and her story because she's one of those rare cases where you get the rather different experiences and conditions of merchant and navy personnel within the same hull. That didn't happen very often, so she's a capsule of very, very mixed stories. Navy men preferred merchant ship assignments because the conditions were generally better, and as one or two have said, the food was a lot better than what they got in the Navy. One sore point which erupted into quarrels on some ships was that Navy men continued to be paid at Navy rates. Merchant seamen who volunteered to remain with their ships when they were converted to rescue ships would continue to be paid merchant service pay, which was noticeably higher than Navy. So that was sometimes a bit of a sticking point for them. Rathlin was a bit different. On the whole, she was a very happy ship, so they can't have let that bother them too much.